So we've got questions that members have submitted,
Oh,
Guardian
okay.
members from around the world.
Interesting.
So the first question is from Peter.
Hi Peter, thank you for your question. Look, we, as you rightly point out, made an offer to the Australian government that as it looks to resettle refugees on Manus and Nauru, that we were open to taking up to 150 of those refugees. It's an offer that still remains on the table. It hasn't been removed. My understanding is that focus has been placed by Australia on the United States offer, but ultimately it'll be up to them. But as I say, it hasn't been removed, it is still there, so could well be taken up, but ultimately that will still be a question for the Australian government. That's a great question and the kind of thing that you think about a lot, particularly when you're in election cycles. But the thing I take great heart from is that actually I already believe that New Zealanders from all walks of life have concern around this issue. And that's not just based on my instinct, but I've seen surveys taken before elections that have shown that actually poverty and inequality is ranked as amongst the top few issues at election time. So I do think there's concern about it already. What we have to try and get buy-in into is the ways that we address that and the ways that we can resolve that as a government. Robert, that's something that our Minister of Health, even going into an election, talked about the 8 priorities that we wanted to focus on. And issues like obesity do, as you well know, have a knock-on effect to things like diabetes. And so we all are better off if we invest early in prevention. Things like promoting healthy behaviours, including nutrition and activity. Embedding that at school is so critical. We used to have a healthy eating, healthy action plan, elements of which really were dumped by the last government. So we're trying to rebuild a bit of a program of action in that space. I'd like to think that actually, even regardless of the size of the country that you're running, there are particular demands that you just actually are similar. I accept there's definitely a scale difference. So you're right, pregnancy is not a disease, but it certainly can feel like an illness for a really long period of time. And I had 16 weeks of morning sickness and no one that knew about it. It was possible. And it was possible probably because actually, I just focused as much as I could on the job at hand, used a few remedies to try and quell the worst of it, and had at least the knowledge that it would pass and it would get better. I think a lot of people struggle with things in their day-to-day lives that their workmates will never know about, and I just happen to be one of them.